The Marcus Deegan Show.
What's the story, guys? Welcome to another episode of the podcast. Thanks for joining us once again. People ask me where I shoot this podcast from, and I shoot it from Las Vegas, Nevada, Sin City, the place of bright lights and world title fights. I started this podcast for one reason and for one reason only. I wanted to speak to interesting and inspirational people from all around the world. And as you guys have known, if you have been following my channel, you know I get to speak to heaps of those people all the time. So look, guys, I've been really trying to push the YouTube channel, our Spotify, our iHeartRadio, our Apple Podcasts. We're killing it on that, but I'm really trying to boost the YouTube channel. So I don't know how you watch your podcasts. Do you listen to them? Do you like to sit at home and watch them on the TV? I don't know how you do it, but give the YouTube channel a bit of a follow, and that way you can see who I'm talking to. Today's guest, man, oh man, oh man, I just love fight week. I love just the UFC. I love just the battles and the blood and the intensity of it. And I especially love it when there's up and coming stars that jump into this organization that really make an impact straight away. This guy is definitely a fan favorite. He's got a striking record, and we're going to talk about that. He's actually one of the things he's going to be remembered for the rest of his life. He has the fourth quickest KO in UFC history, 7 seconds. Now, I've done a lot of things in 7 seconds, but I've never knocked anybody out, that's for sure. Fighting in the lightweight 155-pound division, would you please welcome to the podcast, Terrance McKinney. What's up, brother?
What's up, brother? What an introduction, man. You almost have me applauding over here.
Listen, do you feel like applauding when it's coming up to fight week? Like, do you like, I was talking to someone last night and I asked them, do they visualize the fight week? And he said, I don't like to visualize too much because my heart rate gets up. Do you think about it constantly that week or 2 weeks before?
I'm getting excited about it, but I never think about the fight until, like, I'm out there.
Really? So there's no visualization of, like, placing your shots or what you're going to do? It's all organic for you?
It just all, like, I know what I drilled. I was like, I just get too excited. There's so many opportunities of what combinations I can hit. You know, there's endless combinations you can hit. So before that, I try not to think about it because in a fight, like, anything can happen. What I focus on is just making sure I'm fast, clean, make sure I'm using my fight IQ. And I just tell myself, your fight IQ is too good. Your strength's too good. Your speed's too good. And those are the things I tell myself. And then I say my prayers to God and get ready for war.
Well, I mean, look, everything that you just mentioned there, you're definitely doing. Is one of your goals when you're in this sport is to make as much money as you can and do it as quickly as you can. Hence that you've pretty much finished your last, I believe it was 7 or 8 opponents in the first round under 3 minutes in a very, very short. I mean, a lot of people don't do that. Is that what you want to do? Make the money and make it quick?
I just want to get in and get out, man. Keep my girl and my mom's heart rate low and just get out of there, you know?
Well, speaking of you, does your mom watch your fights? Like, does she come and see them live, or does she just watch them on the pay-per-views?
She came to my first debut. She came to a lot of my fights, and if she can't come, I know she's watching it live at home, going crazy.
Do you get nervous when you've got family members or friends watching you perform?
Nah. It just makes me want to kill the dude like as fast as I can, like even worse. I was thinking like, yeah, my mom's here, bro. I feel bad. I'm about to whoop your ass.
So do you think that you have that mentality due to you've had some extraordinary struggles in your lifetime? It's one of those kind of stories that people love, believe it or not. They love it when there's an underdog that all of a sudden turns their life around, and not only turns their life around, but makes their life spectacular. Where does that come from in you? How did you do that?
It's just getting to that fuck it moment, like stop caring what people thinks. Like I always was trying to like chase after people love instead of loving myself. And once I realized like who cares what anyone thinking, and the craziest thing, people want to be like other people, and the craziest thing, like those people probably want to be like you, and people don't even get to see that.
And is that that's extraordinary that you say that. You're a young man. Like, what are you? 20? How old are you now? 24.
27.
27 now. You're still a pup. You got this 50-year-old man right here for you, brother, right there. Now listen.
Hey,
What I was.
You look like a machine. I would have never thought you were in your 50.
Yeah, 51 actually. I'm 52 this year.
Oh man, awesome, man! Oh, happy early birthday.
And well, I appreciate that, and that just comes from, I mean, being healthy your whole life, and mindset. You're as old as your spirit or your energy. Same thing with you. You seem very mature and knowledge for someone of 27 years old. I know I was an absolute dickhead when I was 27. Is that because of the things that you've overcome, Terrance?
Yeah, I would definitely say life experience and just know like the position I'm in right now. I just know I gotta be mature. Like I just don't want to be known as a fighter. I want to be known as a guy that was a champion off the mat, a person that that changed. I don't care if it's one person's life by sharing my testimony, man. That's just huge to me. It ain't nothing like seeing someone make a change. Like even if it's from me or just like one sentence I said, it's the feeling like that no one can take away from you.
Well, the thing is, brother, I think you're already doing that, and not only with what you're doing in the industry and in this sport, but also because of what you've gone through. I watched a pretty, I don't want to say sad, but no, I will say it was a sad video, man. I felt really bad for you. I saw this video online of you going through probably one of the greatest struggles of your life, and it just made me respect you so much more because for you to be able to pull yourself out of that hole, and it shows a lot of character. Now, I also heard that you actually died twice. That's true, right?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember anything when that happened, or did they just tell you, hey, you were dead, your heart stopped, you were done?
I remember like in my trip, like I went to heaven, but I didn't know I died twice until like the next day, man.
Okay, so that was going to be my question. Did you see did you see heaven? Did you see the light? Did you see your grandfather standing there saying, "Get your ass back home"? Like what did you see? What was the experience like?
I just saw like heaven. I was just standing there, and it felt like like they say, like we're part of God, and I felt like I was just looking through His eyes at just like everything.
Right, and the thing is that what those kind of stories do, Terrance, is that they inspire young people that are maybe going through similar struggles, and drugs is obviously not not the path that you want to take, but those the kind of stories that you have is what inspires people, and it definitely inspired me. So fair play to you, brother. I'm very happy that you prevailed through that, and you're living your dream.
Yeah, man, and that's what kind of gave me like to who cares what anyone think. Like I already look like a crackhead on TV. Like that's why I don't care if I lose. I don't care anything. Like I already been through the worst at worst. Like I just think about like that. Like things could have been worse. Like I could have been in jail for 5 years. Like I just take it. I just don't take things for granted. Because like at any of the day, this could all be taken away. So that's why I still message all the fans, everyone, no matter how big I get. We're all the family. We're all equal, and I'm gonna continue showing love, swiping up, leaving my comments because you guys are the reason I drive me today to continue to be great.
That's it. Without the fans, we're no one, man. And that's really great that you respect your fans enough to do those kind of things like reply to messages. Because as a fan, I know what it feels like when you get met from one of your favorite athletes. It once again, it inspires, it elevates, it makes a person feel good, and that's what you want to do, right? You want to make people feel good, and you want to make people feel happy, right? Because because you're a wrestler now. I mean, you're a wrestler from back in the day, but did you ever watch the WWE? Were you into that kind of wrestling, or?
Yes, sir, man. My favorite was Stone Cold Steve Austin back in the day, and Triple H. I remember I got suspended for doing I'm pretty sure everyone in that age group probably got suspended once for hitting that one.
Yeah, definitely would. Well, I mean, you know what it's like, man. You respect these athletes, and so that's really cool that you get to do that. So, let me see here. So the main event for your fight card. What's going on, and what do you think should happen?
I like the quick replacement with Bobby Green, but I think that fight still had to be ran, just for the division stakes, because then we can get things moving in that top 5 area.
Yeah.
A lot of things going down in the division, and I'm excited to see where things go. So much talent.
And so, what's your future goals? Like, I mean, I know every media person says that, and it's a question that they say never ask them what their future goals are. But like, is there a direction that you want to go with this sport? Do you want to go for the belt eventually? Do you want to be a big star like Conor McGregor? Do you want to have the Rolls Royces and all that kind of stuff? What's your kind of area where you want to go?
Well, my goal is to become a 2 division champion, unionize the fighters, and help us to realize that we are the UFC and get these guys to stand together. Because, like I said, we're brothers at the end of the day. We know what sacrifices were made. We know like the mental health problems that come with fighting, and I just want everyone to realize their worth, and that's what I'm here to do. Not just, like I said, not just be a champion on the mat, but off of it. Just be a person that people can see God in. They're like, yeah, God was with this kid, and that's what I want to show people.
Well, being hooked up with the amazing management team that you're hooked up with, Jason House and Ed Cap and Jacob and all the boys from Iridium, they have just such a close-knit way that they run their company. I love the way that they have family atmosphere with their athletes.
They always have the girls and their family with them, man, and I just look up to those guys for real. They're really showing the way what it takes to be successful and a leader,
Definitely. Where are you right now?
I'm in Spokane, Washington.
Spokane, Washington. I heard there's a lot of Sasquatch in that area.
Yes, sir. A couple Bigfoot motherfuckers out here, huh?
That's what I heard. So just another quick question. I always like to ask this: if you were ever to jump sports, maybe in the future after you've had your career here, is there another sport that you would take your fancy?
I would love to do some WWE stuff, maybe headline some dope boxing matches, because I really do enjoy boxing, and I just respect how much effort goes into it. Like, people don't understand boxing. You think you're good at boxing until you go box someone that boxed 6 years. There's so much finesse and art into it, that people are missing. They just think it's a bunch of thrown fists.
So what about the bare knuckle fighting championship? Obviously, there's a big fight coming up this weekend. Julian let me bang bro against Mike Perry. We were talking about this yesterday as well. Do you follow the bare knuckle, and is that something that you would ever consider doing?
Nah, I'm gonna keep my face. I'm good off that, bro. I joined this sport to leave the street bare knuckle fighting behind. You feel me?
Yeah, great answer. So, what I always like to do is, man, and you've said a lot in this last 15 minutes. A lot of the fans that listen to this podcast, I like to get the athletes to maybe give a couple of words of encouragement to someone that may be struggling, maybe someone that's going through some of the similar things that you went through. What kind of advice would you give to someone that's having some struggles right now?
I would just say, remember who you are. Remember what used to make you happy, and don't look into drugs to bring those. And whatever's hurting you, know it's okay to hurt. And it's very important to address the stuff that bothers you, man. And if you're saying it don't bother you, it probably does. And make sure you really just let that hurt just be in you. It's okay to hurt, because you let it build up. That's when the toxic black hole things just start taking over your whole life, man. So don't be afraid to open up, man.
Guys, if you go to every end of every one of my podcasts and got the advice that every athlete has given, then you wouldn't even need therapy anymore. You're getting some really great advice here. All right, so listen, guys, coming up, fight UFC 202. The main event, February 26th. This young man is doing his thing again. So, over in 3 minutes or what, my friend?
3 to 2 minutes tops. That's respectfully, not just. It's just I got confidence. That's what I started putting in on my stuff. Confident in God.
Well, listen, brother. I do appreciate you coming on, and I've always been looking forward to talking to you. I follow you on Instagram. I watch all your fights. I just really, really love what you do, and I think you're going to be a huge hit. You already are. You're going to be an even bigger hit in this sport, and I just really can't look forward to seeing what else you've got to bring to the table.
Hey, man, I can't wait to get back on this interview again with you further in the future, man. Let's keep the ball rolling.
Absolutely, brother. I'd love to get you in the studio here in Las Vegas. We have had some really, really great athletes in there. Brandon Moreno's been in there a couple of times, so we'd love to get you in there next time you're here in Vegas, brother, which is very soon.
Next week, man. We might have to catch each other after for sure, man.
Absolutely, absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, on the Marcus Deegan podcast, listen, give it up for Terrance McKinney, my main man.
Yes, sir. My guy, Marcus. I love you, dog, man.
Love you too, my brother. Thank you so much, Terrance.
Oh, you too, man. Stay blessed, brother.
Absolutely. You too, buddy. Take care.
All right, later.
Later. There you go, guys. Another great podcast with just such another great guy. You know, one thing I'm finding out about these UFC athletes, and they're just really, really nice people. They go out of their way, and obviously they don't get paid to do these podcasts. They're just basically doing it to promote their brand and also to help me out. I had a little bit of a lighting malfunction here, but that's okay. These things happen when you are shooting from your house. So listen, guys, don't forget today's episode was proudly sponsored by Tidal Sports. It's a cryotherapy spray. Listen, guys, you've heard me talking about this. If you want to find out any information, www.tidalsport.com. They've got creams, they've got sprays. Just look it up on the internet. You get all the information that you need. It saved my life. The game changer. It really, really did. And of course, we're always fueled by Proper 12 Irish whiskey. Thanks for listening again, guys. I really do appreciate it. This is Marcus Deegan for the podcast. Take care.
The Marcus Deegan Show.